There is a big misconception, an inconvenient truth that many still don't understand about what it really means to control diabetes. For decades, I have seen patients come into my office with the same story. Doctor, I've cut out sugar, I avoid pasta, but I still feel exhausted. My levels won't stabilize, and I'm consumed with worry about the future. The common belief is that diabetes is just a matter of avoiding anything that is sweet or carbohydrate. But the truth, my friend, is that this is only the tip of the iceberg, a simplistic view that unfortunately leads many into a cycle of frustration and stagnation. What I want to show you today is how certain foods, when strategically and consistently incorporated into your routine, can go far beyond simply lowering your blood sugar. They have the power to rebalance your body at a cellular level, strengthen your internal defenses, and ultimately give you back not only control over your blood sugar, but a full sense of control over your own life, your energy, and your future. Get ready for a whole new perspective, one that doesn't focus on deprivation, but on deep nutrition, where every meal becomes a powerful ally in your health journey. Imagine enjoying tasty meals, knowing that every bite is actively working in your favor, building a solid foundation for your vitality and longevity. Over decades of treating thousands of patients, listening to their anxieties, witnessing their struggles and their small victories, I noticed a pattern. Countless people stuck on extremely restrictive diets, feeling guilty with every slip-up, eating without pleasure, and, most painfully, still not seeing significant results. Diabetes, as I always explain, is not just about high numbers on the tip of your finger or in your blood tests. It is about silent, chronic inflammation that eats away at your body from the inside out. It is about a metabolic imbalance that affects communication between your cells. It is about the progressive loss of your energy and quality of life. When I refer to best foods, I'm not talking about some magical panacea or isolated superfood that will reverse years of neglect overnight. Far from it. I'm referring to nutritional pillars that have consistently proven capable of halting and often reversing the cascade of problems that diabetes triggers. It's like building a strong, resilient house. You don't just worry about preventing mold from appearing. You invest in quality materials, solid construction techniques, and a sturdy foundation so that it can withstand any weather, any storm that life may bring. Let's dive right in. The first of these pillars, which I call the cell repairer, is absolutely fundamental. To understand its importance, think of your insulin as a key and your cells as doors. In a healthy body, insulin, the key, fits perfectly into the cell door, allowing glucose, the fuel, to enter. In type 2 diabetes, and in most cases of prediabetes, these doors rust, get stuck, or simply no longer hear the insulin key efficiently. This is the dreaded insulin resistance, the root of many of the problems that diabetes presents. The cell repairer I am about to introduce not only helps de-rust these doors, improving insulin sensitivity, but also strengthens the structure of cells, making them more receptive and efficient in using glucose. I am talking about dark green leafy vegetables. Yes, something as simple and accessible as broccoli, spinach, kale, watercress, cabbage, and arugula. They are, in fact, true nutritional powerhouses, packed with a symphony of essential micronutrients, magnesium, potassium, B vitamins, vitamin K, and most importantly, invaluable bioactive compounds such as sulforaphane, glucosinolates, and alpha-lipoic acid. These compounds are not mere extras. They act as powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatories, fighting oxidative stress that damages cells, exacerbating insulin resistance and disease progression. Imagine a symphony orchestra. Each instrument must be perfectly tuned and playing in harmony with the others for the melody to be pure and engaging. When diabetes is present, this internal orchestra, which is your metabolism, is out of tune, producing a dissonant sound. Dark green vegetables are like the experienced conductor who masterfully helps tune each instrument and bring the entire orchestra back into perfect sync. An impressive study, A meta-analysis published in the renowned British Medical Journal involving data from more than 2 million participants has unequivocally demonstrated that regular consumption of cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli and kale, is associated with a significant reduction in the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. This is not just a health tip. It is a strategy based on solid evidence, proving that they are not just good for you, but essential for reprogramming and optimizing your metabolism. However, it is not enough to just eat a few lettuce leaves for lunch and think that everything is solved. The secret lies in regularity and quantity. Ideally, you should include these vegetables in all your main meals, in generous portions. Think of a cupful or more on each plate. They can be steamed to preserve their nutrients, added to nutritious soups, blended into revitalizing green juices, or quickly sautéed with good olive oil and a touch of garlic to enhance the flavor. I vividly remember Maria, a 60-year-old patient who came to my office with her shoulders slumped, visibly discouraged. She had tried countless fad diets, felt exhausted from her glucose roller coaster, and her quality of life was seriously compromised. I suggested a seemingly simple but powerful change, that she double, or even triple, her intake of dark green leafy vegetables at every meal. In just 3 months, her glycemic control improved so significantly that she was able, under supervision, to reduce her medication dosage, and most impressive to her was the energy and vitality she regained. Her eyes sparkled when she told me, "Doctor, I used to think eating salad was a sacrifice, a punishment, but now I feel like I'm giving my body the best fuel, not depriving it. It's like I've got a new engine." Maria's transformation was a daily reminder to me that simplicity, when applied intelligently and consistently, can produce truly extraordinary results. If you are beginning to see diabetes in a new light, if this conversation is making you realize that the path to control goes far beyond what you imagined, know that this clarity is the first and most powerful step toward real transformation. That feeling of "I finally get it" is what I strive for in every interaction. If what I've shared so far has resonated with you and brought a glimmer of hope where perhaps there was only frustration before, I invite you to join this community of people who are actively seeking full health and knowledge that truly liberates. Like this video right now because it helps us bring this essential message to even more people who need it, and please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future conversations. It's a small gesture that, for me, represents a big step toward a more conscious and healthy life. Now, let's move on to the second fundamental pillar, which I call the guardian of stability. This is crucial because diabetes isn't just about having chronically high blood sugar. It's largely about intense glucose fluctuations. Those dizzying spikes after meals and the subsequent valleys are just as, if not more harmful than a constantly elevated level because they put brutal, repetitive stress on your pancreas, progressively damaging insulin-producing cells and promoting systemic inflammation that accelerates the aging of your blood vessels and organs. The guardian of stability comes in to smooth out these curves, to flatten the glucose roller coaster, keeping it in a much more stable range and protecting your body from cumulative damage. I'm talking about unrefined whole grains and legumes. Think of quinoa, rolled oats, not the instant sugar-filled kind, but whole oats, lentils, chickpeas, and various types of beans. These foods are veritable mines of fiber, both soluble and insoluble, which play an absolutely fundamental role in glycemic control and the overall health of your metabolism. Soluble fiber is fascinating. When you eat it, it forms a kind of viscous gel in your stomach and intestines. This gel acts as a physical barrier, significantly slowing down the absorption of glucose from food into the bloodstream, which prevents those sharp spikes in blood sugar after meals. Imagine a sponge absorbing water slowly and in a controlled manner. That's exactly how soluble fiber works with sugar. It doesn't prevent it from entering, but it regulates its flow. Insoluble fiber, on the other hand, increases the volume of your stool, promoting regularity and, crucially, feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut. The health of your gut microbiota is increasingly recognized as a key factor in controlling glucose metabolism and reducing inflammation. A massive cohort study from the Harvard School of Public Health clearly demonstrated that regular consumption of whole grains is inversely associated with the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, highlighting not only the importance of fiber, but also of other nutrients and phytochemicals present in these whole foods. Many people with diabetes have developed an irrational fear of carbohydrates, and with good reason if we are talking about refined carbohydrates, white bread, polished rice, industrial sweets, sugar-filled cookies. But it is essential, absolutely essential, that you understand the huge difference. The carbohydrate in a whole grain is a smart or complex carbohydrate. It is released slowly, gradually, providing constant, sustained energy to your body without overloading your pancreas with excessive and sudden insulin production. The key here is not total elimination, but smart substitution and moderation. Swap white rice for brown rice, wild rice, or quinoa. Opt for 100% whole grain bread. Read labels carefully, as many are just multigrain and contain white flour. Add a scoop of lentils or beans to your soups and make nutritious salads with chickpeas. These are simple swaps that will make a huge difference. I remember João, a taxi driver who spent his days racing against the clock and whose diet consisted of quick snacks, white bread, and diet soda. He was constantly frustrated because, despite following his medication to the letter, his sugar levels remained high and he always felt tired. I suggested that he make a gradual transition. Swap his white bread for 100% whole grain versions and add a generous serving of lentils or beans to his main meals, where possible. At first, he thought it would be difficult, but he soon noticed the difference not only in his glucose stability, but mainly in the satiety and energy he had throughout the day. He told me with a smile I hadn't seen in months. "Doctor, I used to feel hungry all the time, a hunger that seemed like it would never end. Now I eat and feel satisfied for hours, and my glucose readings are much more stable. It's like I've really reprogrammed my body. I feel in control again." João's story is a real-life testament to the power of simple but consistently applied food choices. I'm here to share with you not just information, but the practical knowledge I've accumulated over years of practice, seeing what really works for real people like you. I know that the journey with diabetes can be challenging, full of doubts, and sometimes overwhelmingly frustrating. But I want you to know with all clarity and empathy that there is hope and that there are effective ways for you to regain your health. If what you are learning today is making sense, if any of this information is making you think differently about your own health and choices, please let me know in the comments. Your voice is important. What has been your biggest wow moment in this video so far? Your participation helps me understand what is most relevant to you and create content that really makes a difference in your life. Leave your comment below and let's build this conversation together, making it even richer and more useful for everyone. We have reached the third pillar, which I call the protective shield. This pillar is absolutely vital because diabetes is not just a condition that is present. It is a disease that, if not well managed, can lead to serious and debilitating long-term complications. I'm talking about heart problems, heart attacks, strokes, chronic kidney disease that can lead to dialysis, neuropathies that cause pain and loss of sensation, and retinopathies that can compromise vision. These problems don't come out of nowhere. They are the result of years of chronic inflammation, progressive cell damage, and uncontrolled oxidative stress in your body. The protective shield acts as a robust barrier, defending your cells, tissues, and organs from these silent attacks and, crucially, preserving the function of your vital systems. I am referring to healthy fats, with a special emphasis on those rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Think of cold water fatty fish such as wild salmon, sardines, and mackerel, the versatile avocado, nuts, especially walnuts, chia and flax seeds, and of course, good old high-quality extra virgin olive oil. These fats are, by nature, powerful anti-inflammatory agents. Omega-3 in particular is an essential fatty acid that your body cannot produce on its own, but which is absolutely critical for the integrity of cell membranes, think of the walls of your cells, and for the production of signaling substances in your body that actively reduce systemic inflammation. In patients with diabetes, chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of the development and progression of complications. By consistently incorporating these healthy fats into your diet, you are literally building a biological shield against these long-term health threats. A seminal study, the Predimed Clinical Trial, published in the prestigious New England Journal of Medicine, unequivocally demonstrated that diets rich in healthy fats, such as those found in extra virgin olive oil and nuts, can significantly reduce the risk of major cardiovascular events in high-risk individuals, including those with diabetes. There is still a widespread misconception that all fat is bad and should be avoided. It is true that excess saturated fats found in ultra-processed foods, fried foods and processed meats, and trans fats, the worst of all found in margarine and many industrialized products, should be limited or eliminated. But it is vital to differentiate. Healthy fats are your most powerful allies. Not only do they protect your body from inflammation and cell damage, but they also contribute significantly to satiety, which is crucial for weight control and, consequently, blood sugar control. Include a salmon fillet or some grilled sardines 2 or 3 times a week. Add a few slices of avocado to your salad or omelet. Sprinkle ground chia or flax seeds on your yogurt or smoothie, and use a good extra virgin olive oil as a base for your stir-fries, salads, and finishing touches. Small changes in habits that translate into huge benefits for your health. I clearly remember Carlos, a busy businessman who, like many of my patients, was very concerned about his heart health, especially since he had been diagnosed with diabetes and had a family history of heart disease. He came to me distressed because, despite his efforts, he felt he was on a countdown to some serious problem. I suggested that he significantly increase his intake of fatty fish and replace some sources of saturated fat with avocado and olive oil. In just 6 months, his cholesterol and triglyceride levels improved considerably, moving out of the risk zone, and most notable for him was the sense of well-being and energy he regained. He told me, "Doctor, I thought I had to avoid all fat, that it was all the enemy. But now I understand that the right fats are my strongest allies. I feel safer, more protected, and with a vitality I haven't felt in years." Carlos' story is a clear example of how smart eating, based on the right foods, can be a powerful agent for prevention, recovery, and quality of life. It is absolutely crucial, and I want to emphasize this with all responsibility, that although these foods are powerful allies and proven to be beneficial, they are not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you have already been diagnosed with diabetes, have a pre-existing health condition, or are taking medication, it is imperative that you always consult your doctor or a qualified nutritionist before making significant and drastic changes to your diet. Every body is unique, every metabolism responds differently, and personalizing your plan is the key to long-term success and safety. My intention here is to equip you with knowledge, solid information, and practical advice so that you can have a much more informed, proactive, and productive conversation with your healthcare professional, becoming an active agent in your own healing. What I have presented to you so far, my friend, is much more than a list of foods. It is a map, a guide with the nutritional pillars that, in my decades of experience in practice, have consistently proven to be most effective in controlling diabetes and strengthening the body as a whole. We've seen how dark leafy greens act as cell repairers, optimizing insulin sensitivity, how whole grains and legumes act as stability guardians, smoothing out glucose spikes, and how healthy fats function as your protective shield, defending your body from long-term complications. However, I know and hear this daily in my office that real life is busy, full of commitments and challenges, buying all the organic ingredients, preparing complex meals, ensuring the exact dose of each nutrient in every meal can seem like a Herculean task, almost overwhelming. Many of my patients, with a look of discouragement, would say to me, Doctor, this all makes incredible sense. I understand the logic and I want to do it, but how do I fit all of this into my busy routine in real life? It is precisely at this point that practicality becomes not only important, but crucial to the sustainability of any change. The good news is that, with the evolution of knowledge and technology, there are solutions that have been developed precisely to simplify this journey, integrating these essential principles into a more accessible and easy-to-follow approach. You need something that not only provides the right nutrients and synergy for your body, but is also easy, convenient, and, above all, sustainable to incorporate into your daily life, so you don't give up halfway through, overwhelmed by complexity. With all of this in mind, and with the unshakable belief that simplicity is the key to long-term adherence and success, I pored over countless options, evaluating products, protocols, and approaches to find something that could truly offer this integrated, simplified solution. Something I could recommend with complete confidence, knowing that my patients would have access to a tool that would really make a difference in their lives, saving them time, effort, and, most importantly, frustration. And that's how I arrived at what I consider a reliable and smart shortcut for you. It is a solution that condenses the benefits of these essential foods and other important components in a way that ensures maximum bioavailability of nutrients and perfect synergy for your body. It is a path that simplifies complexity, allowing you to focus on your health and well-being without the burden of logistics and exhaustive preparation. That's why I want to guide you to something I consider a personal recommendation based on my clinical experience and my commitment to your health. It's a solution, a protocol that I have evaluated and trust because it strictly follows the same principles of quality, optimal dosage, and synergy that I have discussed in detail here. You can find all the information you need about this solution, which I personally recommend, by clicking on the link in the description of this video and also in the first pinned comment. It is a resource that can save you a lot of exhaustive research and the risk of making mistakes, guiding you along a path that has already been validated and proven safe. Diabetes, my dear friend, does not have to be a sentence of restrictions and suffering. Far from it. It is a condition that, with the right knowledge, the right mindset, and consistent, intelligent actions, can be controlled, allowing you to take back control of your life and enjoy every moment with vitality, energy, and a sense of well-being that you may no longer believe is possible. Today we have seen that food is not just a tool for deprivation or calorie counting, but a powerful instrument for healing, strengthening, and reprogramming your own body. By incorporating dark leafy greens, whole grains, legumes, and healthy fats into your diet, and by seeking an integrated solution that simplifies this journey, you are building a solid and unshakable foundation for lasting health. Remember the inspiring stories of Maria, João, and Carlos. They are living proof that small changes, when made intentionally, with the right knowledge, and crucially, with persistence, can bring about huge, liberating transformations in your health and your life. My mission, as a doctor who has dedicated his life to understanding and treating this condition, is to empower you with this knowledge and offer you the most effective ways to live a full, vibrant, and active life despite diabetes. I believe that information is the first but most crucial step toward change, and action is what makes that change a reality. If this video has brought you clarity, lit a flame of hope within you, and given you new breath for your journey, know that you are not alone on this path. There is a growing community of people seeking a healthier life and knowledge that really matters, and I am here in this digital office to guide you on that journey. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so right now so you don't miss the next step on this journey of knowledge and transformation. And if you know someone, a friend, a family member, a coworker, who is also struggling with diabetes or prediabetes, someone who would feel relieved to know that there is an easier, more effective, and more hopeful path, please share this video. Spreading this message of knowledge and hope is an act of love and can literally change someone's life. Together, we can build a healthier and happier future for many.